Hi everybody, welcome to Dublin Zoo. My name is John and I'm here today to teach you all about the turtles and tortoises that live here. Now, the first question you're probably wondering is, what is the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? Well, turtles, they have beaks, they move slowly, and you can find them in all kinds of different environments, from rivers to oceans to deserts, burrows, and even forests. And the other thing that we have to think about with turtles is that they all have shells. Now, those shells are made out of bone from back and front, and they have a little covering of keratin. Now, if you remember from our rhinos or our oryx, keratin is the same stuff that covers your fingernails. Tortoises, they're just a group of turtles that only live on land. Now, that's the basics. Let's find out about some of the turtles that we have here in Dublin Zoo. First up is our Chinese striped-necked turtle. Now you can tell straight away that he's a turtle and not a tortoise because he's living in the water. But because he's a turtle, it means that his shell needs to be hydrodynamic. Now that's a big word, so I'll get you to say that one with me. Hydrodynamic. Yeah? Good job, everybody. But what does it mean? Hydrodynamic is all about getting through the water really easily. So it needs to be a smooth shell so we can swim through it really handily. As opposed to tortoises, who kind of have bumpy shells. Imagine trying to swim with a backpack on your back. Can you tell whether these guys are tortoises or turtles? If you said tortoise, you're absolutely right. And you can tell because of that nice bumpy shell, and it's not really as smooth as the one we saw before, and they live on land, a nice dry area. These are star tortoises, and they're from dry areas like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and India. Like some turtles, the star tortoise, they can tuck their head into their shell. Now, there's two different ways of doing this. Some turtles do it by tucking their head right back in, like this guy, and others do it by turning their head kind of sideways. And some tortoises can even close their shell in behind them. Oh, but can you think, do tortoises and turtles get out of their shell sometimes? We'll answer that one in a second. The answer is no. Now, I have a shell here from one of the animals that used to live here in Dublin Zoo, but they died of old age. And we can see on the inside that its shell is made up of its backbone and its ribs fused together to make that lovely, hard, protective shell. And lastly, I wanted to introduce you to the Anim leaf turtles. Now, the reason I wanted to introduce you to them is because until recently, we thought they were extinct. Now, do you remember extinct from our dinosaur episode? That means that they're all gone. But if they were extinct, how can we have them here? Well, a secret population was found in 2006 in Vietnam. And from there, we were able to get them into zoos all over the world to try and bring their population back up. And in Dublin Zoo, we just celebrated our first Anim leaf turtle hatchlings. Now, we call these Anim leaf turtles, but we could easily call them Anim leaf terrapins, because there's another group that we haven't talked about yet. These are the terrapins. Terrapins are a type of turtle that live in fresh water and lakes. They also spend half of their time in the water and the other half on land. A lot of the turtles we've talked about so far are pretty small, considering that some of them get quite big, like this Galapagos giant tortoise. But even bigger than that, some of the sea turtles, like the leatherback turtle, can get up to 2.2 meters. That's even bigger than me lying down here. But you've probably heard that turtles are pretty slow, and you're not wrong. Turtles don't move very quickly, and they don't need to, because they have these big, long shells to help them protect them from predators. And they're so big that it's very difficult for a predator to get their mouth around them. But there's other perks to being in the slow lane as well. Turtles can live for a really long time. The oldest animal living in the world is a tortoise called Jonathan, and he lives on St. Helena Island in the South Atlantic Ocean. And he just turned 189 years old this year. That's 1 year younger than Dublin Zoo. We learned a lot here today about different kinds of tortoises and turtles, from the Chinese striped-necked turtle to the critically endangered Anim leaf turtle. Thanks for joining us to learn all about them. Bye for now.